All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to X-Men Coast to Coast. My name is Andrew, and I'm one of your hosts tonight. And join me tonight as well is Justin.
Hello.
Tonight we have another match in the Squad Leader tournament, in which it is a modified version of No Glory, where you're allowed one limited upgrade, which is usually a pilot or crew member. In this case, it is a pilot on Rob's side and a crew member on Spike's. The one unique on both sides is there's a Boba Fett crew on Spike's side, and one of these 5 Hawks, and Kylo Ren in the TIE Silencer on Rob's side.
I was about to say, all I know is it's an arcane.
It is actually not an RPG, contrary to what your wife may be saying.
It's not an arcane spell. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, yes, it's not an arcane spell either.
Yes. No.
So we are just getting set up here. Spyke is running a whole bunch of Hawks. For the most part, they're pretty identical. The Spice Runner, or the Red Spice Runner rather, has Boba Fett crew and seismic charges. Yellow and green both have ion bombs, and brown and blue both have proton bombs. All of the Hawks all have delayed fuses, and freelance slicers and deadman switch.
Yeah. This team that Spike has is very interesting. But Rob's is a lot more straightforward and has a lot more punishing potential in terms of attacks. He's got Kylo Ren with hate, uh, the First Order test pilot with fanatical and advanced optics, and then a SJ engineer with advanced optics as well. So these silencers are looking for blood, and they're going to be pretty happy against these ships that can neither reposition and only are rolling 2 defense dice.
Well, the Hawks can actually slightly reposition. They do have access to a boost.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Yep, they have a red boost on each of these, so I don't think we'll see it too often. But
Nope.
you're right; they can absolutely use that. I know it's like Spike's gonna be handing out the tokens of the which bombs they have. So, yellow has ion, green has ion, orange is gonna have, I assume, proton from the crit. Yes.
Yep.
And blue has a proton, and the one that is in reserve right now with Boba Fett has seismics.
Yep.
So really
Now, it is worth noting that red, which not only has the Boba crew, but also has engine upgrade, so it will be able to white boost. Interested to see how he does that. Now, Spike did win his first round. Both of these players are currently 1-0. So I mean, somebody got the bad end of these Hawks. I'm really interested to see how they do. This is probably one of the more interesting lists because there's not a whole lot of people brave enough to run just a bunch of Hawks.
Yeah, it's very rare you see the Hawk outside of the Moldy Crow title, which is 18 points. But because of the limits of this tourney, you could not run the title and the name pilot or crew. So instead, he brought Boba. All right, how about that? Is that any better? Excellent. Now just time to shout in the microphone.
Oh, don't shout. Now, Rob did win the bid here. Rob's list is 193 points compared to Spike's 196. And Rob opted to have Spike go first, so all 3 of these silencers are essentially I6 in relation to their opponent anyway. They will all be moving after the entirety of Spike's list, so they really will be able to take advantage of those double repositions that they have and the outright just amazing dial that the silencer has. It'll be pretty tough for Spike to be able to catch all the silencers, but so long as he can consistently get, at least 1 or 2 of the Hawks to fire at each one at a time, 2 or more, should be looking pretty good, assuming that he can get the damage through.
I think it's pretty safe to say the silencer may be the best chassis in the game. At 2 shields, 4 hull, 3/3 on attack and agility, and also the ability to double reposition.
Oh, absolutely. There's a very, very good argument for it. I would often when people ask me what the silencer is similar to, for some of the newer players. A lot of times I'll say, "Oh, they're just a really beefy tie interceptor," which isn't too far off. They have a pretty similar dial, but the silencer has twice as much health, as well as similar abilities. Now, it's gonna be tough. I'm sorry.
I think the ship ability actually is the same ability.
It is, yes.
Yes.
It's going to be tough for Spyke in this case. He's going to be rolling 2 reds compared to 3 greens. Could possibly be rolling 3 reds against 3 greens, but that's only if he gets a range 1 shot. But with those silencers moving afterwards, it's going to be pretty tough.
I was gonna say, other than the guaranteed damage from these bombs, I will say that I think Spyke has an uphill battle in terms of getting these silencers off the board. With a three evade dice, two reds into 3 evades, it's hard to hit.
Now I'm interested with Spyke. He placed his 1 hawk in the center here with the arc pointing backwards. Boba's kind of an interesting crew. I don't think I've ever seen him played to really a benefit of the player using him. More often than not, what I see happen is they'll use Boba crew and then they send one ship out, but unfortunately that ship usually gets hung out to dry, isolated, and it gets torn apart really, really quickly as the game starts.
So, the most effective use of Boba Fett crew I've seen is on the Emon Azamin fire spray, which can drop bombs with using the 3 forward or the 3 turn templates, I believe, right?
Yes, the 3 hard turns or the 3 straight. He cannot launch forward though. It's always got to be backwards.
Right. So what a friend of mine used to do would be set up on a rock looking towards the rest of his list, so away from mine. Wait until I set my entire list up, and then basically just throw a bomb at me and get free damage on all my ships immediately, because there usually wasn't too much I could do to avoid it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good for that, but other than this initial damage is going to be, I don't know if he's going for damage here, but he's probably going for some board control. He's going to be able to drop that seismic charge with delayed fuses and pretty much get any one of these 3 obstacles he's near right now. It looks like they're starting the match.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Jeremy. Turn one Emon bombing is just insanely fun. And it just feels bad too, because like I said, you really can't block it.
And the match has started. Move our camera here so we can get a better view of the map, or more of a top-down view anyway. Now Rob is setting all of his silencers apart. I think that's a really good idea. It forces Spyke to have to commit to one as opposed to being able to focus them all down at the same time. Now dropping that seismic in the middle there is pretty cool, because what it allows is it won't go off this turn; it'll go off the following turn. But this gives Spyke the choice between those 3 asteroids, and it also means that it'll force Rob to steer away from it next turn, unless he just wants to give up damage. So he's essentially, with that drop, he's wardening off Kylo from being able to come in too hard, unless he wants to come up his own side. It really depends on what Kylo's initial move here is, with how he's going to be able to follow that up, but I think that is a really smart move. And then here he's moving away to try and regroup with the others.
I think the key thing on this one is going to be whether or not he can capitalize on keeping Kylo out of the fight. It's very possible that we see Rob kind of slow roll this with some hard turns, and then just basically completely avoid getting hit or being too far out of position.
Yeah. playing aces, or aces is the main archetype that I like to fly. Typically speaking, when I start out, I like to start out facing parallel to my own board edge, and then begin the engagement with a hard one, because it doesn't really commit to any one direction. Ends up having me face my opponent at the end of turn one. I can kind of see what he's doing and then react a lot better. Rob is doing something similar, with the exception that he is facing away from his opponent. So this will actually give him an additional turn to kind of see what Spyke is going to be doing before committing one way or another. I would be very surprised next turn unless if Rob doesn't do another hard one, just to see where Spyke goes and then committing from there. Now, with that said, I don't think any of the silencers are going to be anywhere close to any of those asteroids that Spyke is going to take off. So he's basically going to be picking which one he thinks is going to give him the best strategic advantage later down the line. But that seismic fuse in the opening turn is a really nice control piece. That's a good idea. Might actually try that myself sometime.
Yeah, my main point here is I don't know if he'll be able to capitalize that on that though, because he's keeping Kylo out of the fight, but at the same time he's not really going to be able to put anyone else into the fight. There's a similar list right now out there with Captain Nim. Captain Nim is the one that I believe he's the scurry that lets you basically infinitely delay fuse a bomb and just stop it from going off.
Yes.
So I think that would be really useful here, and if he can add more, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, the big downside of that, though, is because in this format you're only allowed one unique, there's no way that he can run Nim and be able to put a bomb out there in the opening turn.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's going to have to be something that you save for a different format.
Right, different event, absolutely. Yep. But with all 6 of these Hawks here, I do think it's an interesting list. It's a little bit like running, or 5 Hawks, not 6, excuse me. They're kind of similar to the SFs in terms of stats.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 2s, 3, 2 shields, so 1 fewer shield. But they don't have any they don't have a gunner slot, unfortunately. But they do have a lot of other upgrades available to them. So the Hawk is an interesting chassis where it seems kind of lackluster on its base stats, but it gives you a lot of options to customize it to however you want to play.
5 forward. So green is going to try and move in to the other silencers, probably looking protection in a group. Maybe come in hard all together, or just trying to get that SJE out of that corner so he doesn't get cut off by those 5 Hawks all at the same time. Kylo and the first order test pilot coming into a formation almost. Now, the way that he, funnily enough, out of all of the ships on the table, I would actually say that the First Order test pilot may be the most dangerous. Between the Fanatic and the Advanced Optics, he has the most hit. Most hit consistency of the 3. Where Kylo has better defense, but that First Order test pilot will absolutely have better offense.
Looks like Spyke is going to be electing to choose the one that does not give him damage. Makes sense.
Yep.
It was a very good placement for that bomb, though. Like I said, he had 3 options available to him.
Mm-hmm.
Very snazzy.
Rob did not take that bait, though. So it ended up just being removing a asteroid from the field. That's one less thing that the silencers can hide behind for cover. We won't be seeing any engagement this round. Something else I really like about Spike's list is because they're all Spice runners, they're all initiative 1s. He can move them in any order they want. Initiative matching in a list like this is critical to being able to pull off the most amount of moves. Not to mention
absolutely.
not to mention that they're all initiative ones, so he can get those blocks if he positions himself correctly.
He can get blocks, and he can focus on offense without having to worry about defense, which is nice.
Yep.
You don't have to consider, like, okay, do I have to use it for defense? Well, there is an overlap in ones, in which case I guess Rob could use it. Does get to shoot last with that last silencer. However, at the same time, I think most of these will be able to choose the focus on offense without having to worry about it for defense.
Absolutely. Now, something that Rob will need to really keep in mind are the bombs that all these Hawks carry. All of them are carrying bombs, and then all of them have DMS, so they will all explode when one dies. So he's got to be really, really careful about getting too close to these Hawks, which is, again, a smart move by Spyke in his list building stage, because it'll enable him to try to force Rob to keep his distance. Won't be able to take advantage of that range one shot. Get that extra dice against him, and then even stay in range 3 a lot of times and get that extra green that he really, really needs to make this list a lot more survivable than it normally would be. So, Andrew, looking at the map now, do you think we'll have any engagement this round?
I'd be surprised if there are shots. I do think Rob's going to be slow rolling with these silencers. I think there's a very high likelihood you'll see another seismic come out of that Hawk with Boba Crew.
Mm-hmm.
Seismic with delayed fuses could scare him away a little bit more. I could see him choosing to use that later, though, in order to not do damage to most of his list.
Yeah, I think in this situation, if I were Rob, I would actually take Kylo, and this is the turn to 5 forward with him.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct.
It's unlikely he'll be taking any shots, so he's able to just get around as fast as possible. Could use that boost or barrel roll to get out of danger if he needs to, or both. Not to mention it'll help him get around, get the flank on these Hawks, and force them to commit one way or another.
The Hawks using that focus rotate to their advantage right now.
Absolutely.
That's going to be very useful for them during this fight. Kind of a weird position for him. He's going to focus rotate there as well. I think that does kind of set up which rock's going to blow up. I'd be hard pressed to believe that outside rock's going to be the one he chooses to explode.
Yeah, I can't imagine. He's steering clear of that. He wants to take out the peanut in the middle.
Yep. This is real, like you said, just taking out things for the silencers to hide behind.
So do you think in this case it's more beneficial for Spyke to clear the field as much as possible? That, like, who do you think actually benefits from that more, having the obstacles removed, the silencers or the Hawks?
I think it's the Hawks, just knowing their dial, and it's much more restrictive than the silencers.
Mm-hmm.
I think getting rid of that is going to be huge for them.
And your armor.
Yeah, giving them more room to maneuver, but that could be a double-edged sword because that really, really opens up the movement options for the silencers. And with how hard it is to pin those down, it can really come back to bite him if he's not careful about this.
Well, the good news is with these mobile arcs, they'll be able to really cast a wide net over those silencers and prevent them from arc dodging too much.
Yeah. Now, I have not played with Rob. I do believe he was in the Triple J tournament. But I have played with Spyke a few times. He's a very, very good player. So I'm interested to see how he makes this list work. Let me actually see if Rob was in the Jawa tournament. He was not. Just kidding. Rob playing very cagey, it seems like. Probably good move here, especially with how many bombs can be dropped all over the place. I actually predict, as of right now, that we won't get an engagement for at least another 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think that might be underselling it, unfortunately.
Well, when you're playing Rob's game here, you want to be very, very cautious about how you move in, because one false move, you get ion bombed, you're in for a world of hurt later on, as all 5 of those Hawks can converge on you, or even drop bombs on you, or all sorts of pain that they can inflict. So you got to play really, really cagey.
I know these ships are Hawks and not vulture droids, but man, with those ion bombs, they really are vultures.
Yeah, yeah.
Figure out which one of these is the weak link and then pounce. I imagine they'll be really just circling the battlefield and waiting to see who pulls out first. Right now, I do think Rob's in a very good position to just kind of ignore the Hawks for at least another turn. There's a chance that the I-1 gets shot, although I don't think that's very likely. We'll see, though.
Now, I don't know if everyone has noticed or not, but the way that he's positioned his Hawks is he actually has a proton bomb Hawk flying alongside an ion bomb Hawk so they can capitalize off of each other. Another good idea. Now, he also has Freelance Slicer on all of his ships here, with the exception of Red. Can you give us a reading of what Freelance Slicer is, please, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see it on all of these. Well, however, it is while you defend before attack dice are rolled, you may spend a lock you have on the attacker to roll one attack die. If you do, the attacker gains 1 jam token. Then on a hit or crit result, gain 1 jam token. So really, what this is it's not super. It's very niche when you see it. However, with this target lock rotate option, the Spice Runners have, they can easily lock one of these silencers, whichever one gets close. Lock, rotate the turret to him, and then once the silencer goes to shoot, they spend the lock, and the silencer gets a jam. And the nice thing about that is that if they get the jam, at that point, they no longer have any tokens to get jammed from.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter too much for the Hawk.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It is definitely an upgrade you do not see very often. So I'm interested to see how often he uses it in this list. But at 3 points, I mean, you spent, 3 points for that crew is the cheapest generic crew you can get. I believe that's the cheapest non-faction.
I believe so.
The only other cheap crew that I can think of is the ISB Slicer.
Okay. Hold on a second, Andrew. Conrad is saying we're very low on the microphone. Is it me, Justin, or is it Andrew, the other guy?
I am willing to bet it is me.
I think it's you as well, because I haven't done anything with my microphone, and I think you're trying to be quiet for your wife. Yeah, he says he thinks Andrew.
Well, how's this? Yeah, how's this? Is this better? Yeah, that's fine. I think this is better. I changed something on my microphone to hopefully cut out some background noise, and I may have made it too quiet. But you guys should be able to hear me now. So.
Yep. You're coming in a lot more clearly.
There we go.
Joe also said it was you.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. Anyways, talking about the slicer is the again when you while you defend, you can spend your lock to make the attacker get a jam token, and you might get a jam token yourself depending on the dice roll. At that point, they won't really care though, so it's not bad. We see an ion bomb coming out here with a delayed fuse. That is interesting. I'm not sure it's going to do anything, but it does. The thing about these bombs right now, I think that is throwing me off, is it really just pushes Rob further out. Right. You know what I mean? He's like, it just further guarantees that he isn't coming in anytime soon.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's really what Spyke should be going for right now. I think he needs to eventually have him kind of get in and commit one way.
Yeah.
The lead fuse is going to the wrong ship, or wrong bomb rather. Whoops.
Yep, he traded fuses there. I'm sure he's noticed.
Yeah, I'm sure too. The fuse has been moving all over today, so.
I think Rob's pointing it out right now, actually. Maybe not. There you go, you got it. Yeah, right, Joe? The scum player in the group is not here. Well, that's okay. I'm a scum player. I'm a scummy ace player, so we're
I've
good.
been known to dabble in scum, and also resistance is basically just rebel scum. So.
Yeah. Ah, scum. You mean Fenguri? Yes, I love that faction. Yeah, I think I'm gonna agree with you here, Andrew. The way that he's dropping these bombs, I don't think it's the best time to be doing that. He's keeping a wide space between the silencers and his hawks, preventing them to come in. But I don't really see what that's doing for him aside from just buying more time before the initial engagement. Maybe he's trying to force the silencers to commit in a different direction that isn't in the asteroid field. That's what I'm assuming here. Forcing them to turn around, and maybe he's just trying to throw Rob off balance by making him rethink his initial engagement.
You see that's not a bad assessment. Trying to throw Rob off balance. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I do think, like you said, he's really just delaying this engagement, which I don't know how that helps him. Maybe it helps him get that Boba Fett carrier back into the crew format.
Or Dahlia and Bobbin. Dahlia.
Something I am noticing here is we do not have charges for the ion bombs on the on my display, so we'll just have to keep track if they spend.
Yeah, yellow has spent one. If you can change that, but we will keep track of that.
I see it. I just don't have an option to actually keep track of it in the display. So if he uses that final one, then if he uses that final one, I'll just mark it so it gets crossed off.
Yep.
But he has used all his seismics at this point, removing that other peanut asteroid. No damage taken, but it does open up the field again.
Yeah, like I said, I just don't know what the thought process is for Spyke here. I don't know what his strategy is because I haven't seen him play this list. But it really just seems right now he's pushing off that initial engagement for the Boba Fett carrier to get back around.
Yep.
But I don't know at what point is that no longer helpful. You know what I mean? The Boba Fett crew hasn't really done much in that case. But it is kind of forcing Rob to split up these silencers.
Yeah, and that might be what Spyke was going for.
It's highly possible. Like you said, throwing throwing Rob off his game rather. When you have three aces, if you're off your game, you can make some pretty bad mistakes that'll just let these ships chew you apart. So that is very possible that's what his plan is, but we'll find out.
So I'm thinking in this case, what Kylo wants to do is go ahead and do a 3-bank to the left, barrel roll, and then boost to the left again, because that should keep him out of range from the ion, but it'll set him up to come in fast and hard on the next turn if he wants to. Yellow's probably going to do a 2 left hard, or even a 1 hard, and then green will also likely do a 1 hard to come back around to face these hawks, but still keep himself open for other movement options.
Yeah, I don't know what these hawks are going to do. Probably some 2 hards to kind of go forward. I think too hard to rotate focus probably sets you up pretty nicely. I just don't know what else you might do here. Yellow's in a weird position too, where yellow is stressed, and I imagine he wants to shed that stress before he goes to that initial engagement.
I'm almost wondering if Spike's strategy... See, there's a lot of conjecture for what he could be trying to do, because obviously we aren't inside of his head on what he's going for here, but it's entirely possible and a very valid strategy. psychologically anyway, that he could just be trying to stall as long as possible. Maybe goad some frustration into Rob for the lack of engagement and make Rob make a mistake and charge in, and maybe a bad opportunity that Spike can really capitalize on it. Or he's just trying to throw them out of place so that he can maybe hammer one at a time without too much repercussion. Not quite sure, but I'm eager to see what happens.
I think you may have hit the nail on the head there where you said just trying to goad one of them into coming in faster.
Yeah.
For the lack of engaging. So I think that's not bad. He did mention that, I'm not sure if you saw this, Duck, but oh, no, fix itself. Okay. Spike mentioned in chat that Rob's ping was kind of jumping up, but
okay.
Looks like the problem fixed itself.
Yeah, I have the chat muted or hidden, chat window hidden, so I actually can't see what they're saying if they are talking.
Oh, gotcha. So first too hard for sure, and then you see a boost actually coming out of blue. We're gonna see Spice Runner 3 do the focus rotate. I imagine we'll see orange do something similar. One bank, and then try to shed a stress, but doesn't have any. Interesting. Takes a focus. Shed stress, probably a focus here, and just stay with that turret back. So we're casting a wide net in case these silencers do actually come in.
Yeah. I don't foresee an engagement this turn. Maybe yellow will get a pot shot on blue and vice versa. Same for green, but I don't think it's going to be a very hard commit. Basically just throwing dice from range 3. Could get 1 or 2 damage into blue here. There's the one hard.
Yeah, now, blue being without tokens may be a bait right now.
I'm thinking green might take a focus and then barrel roll to the left, because that'll get him in range of blue and be able to take a modded shot with lots of room for escape. But that also might be what Spike's trying to provoke.
I do think Spike has put blue out there as bait. But we're going to see the roll.
Well, if he did, Rob definitely took it. Yep, so we'll have 2 range 3 engagements onto blue, it looks like.
And the good news for Spike is blue will be able to shoot back at least at yellow here, if yellow has a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's just out at the moment. But he's not going to boost, so we'll find out. But I do think yellow is just out. Kylo thinking about taking a lock. I think what Kylo wants to do here is just barrel roll to the right. I think that's the move. That opens up his straights. He's taking a lock.
It looks like he's taking the lock to prepare for that freelance slicer later.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yep, locking that rock to be like, okay, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
And, Good plan.
Yep, one of my... I actually did that trick to you the last time we played, I believe.
Yes, you did. We were playing. You played Fenger, and I was playing a list with Rose, Tico, and the pod. I did try to jam you at one point, and you just said no.
Yeah, well, I had...
Oh,
okay.
Hold on, Justin. We've paused the timer. I don't know what's happening.
I have paused as well.
Rob is disconnecting, so I imagine there is some latency issue.
Yep. I have paused the timer.
There we go.
Yeah, when we had played, I had actually 2 rounds previously. I had also played against someone else who was running Finn and Rose, and he jammed me, and I was not anticipating it at all because I just thought, oh, it's a red action. He's never going to do that, and then he did, and it ended up costing me a really, really bad turn. So I took advantage of that in the opening engagements of our match where I blocked onto a rock because, don't need any other actions otherwise. May as well get the lock and protect myself from that jam.
Absolutely. That jam, like you said, people do not expect that jam unless they've had it happen to them.
Yep. And one of those never again moments. Gotta learn from those mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. like you said, it is red, so you don't see it very often, but it can really save your bacon at certain
Absolutely.
times if you got like a pro torque coming in on one of your other ships.
All
Let's
right,
start the
Rob
timer
is
again.
back. They're restarting the timer. I am 6 seconds behind, so I'm going to go ahead and let it time out, and then I will hit play
Sounds
when it
good.
hits.
So, what do you guys in chat think of Rob's strategy right now? What do you think about that? I think it's very interesting at the very least. I don't know if I'll say um, I don't know if I'll say I completely understand it or agree with it, but I will say it's interesting.
No. I mean, he won one of his games. He must have some idea what he's doing.
Yeah, that's one more than both you and I have won in this tournament.
Yeah, right. Well, my game is tomorrow, so we'll see. We'll see if I maintain that streak or not. Yep, yellow is just out, but I do think that green will have a shot on blue.
Yeah, this is basically a free shot here, so we'll see if green can do it. With advanced optics, though, you know you've at least got one hit coming in.
Yep. I actually think that yellow's in the worst position here, though, because he has to go towards the Hawks, no matter what he does.
I think so too.
I think
yellow's in.
I think the move here. We are getting our first shots. Shots fired. 3 versus 3. Modded attack versus a not modded. He's going to spend that focus. Yep. So 3 hits.
What was up with that?
I spent the wrong focus, but it's fine.
Yep. Spyke caught it.
Yeah, that doesn't matter this round, but
and it will be taking 1 on blue.
That's not bad if you're Spyke right now, because what you can do, I mean, you can bank in with that hawk that's stressed and be able just to take a focus and have a good shot, and the rest of your hawks are coming right after him.
Yep. So I think in Rob's case, he really needs to get yellow out of there, or he's going to get caught by or at least 4 of those hawks. I think green needs to do a hard turn blue to the right. Boost out of, or take a focus, boost out of there. Yellow will then take a hard one to the left and then boost or barrel roll, whatever benefits him more at the time, or both, to try to get out of the range of those hawks. But right now, yellow is in the scariest position because he has to move towards the hawks in some form or another. But best way to get out of that would definitely be the hard one, and then turning towards the bottom table edge here.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how this next engagement goes here. This would be very
nice.
I mean, the worst thing I think yellow can do here is go into one of these hogs. I think it's likely that Rob's going to try to do like a hard turn into the asteroid field with him, or potentially even just turn out. But it'll be interesting to see what he chooses to try to avoid the group that is coming towards him.
If I were yellow, I'd definitely be turning away from that group. Try to get some distance so that you aren't eating 4 shots. Even rolling.
I think so too, but it's been 30 minutes of no shots for yellow, so it's possible at this point, Rob, like you said, he's getting antsy for a fight. So.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's always tense right before the fight, and then once it gets going, it's just, at least for me, mentally, it's so much easier once the engagement starts. But the anticipation for that first engagement and how major it could be really puts me on edge, at least.
There's definitely a lot of stress behind that, of it being, here comes, I need to set up this correctly, because if I don't, it's quite possible that it's going to ruin the rest of the game for me, no matter what I do.
Yeah, so you can get really antsy for, just to get into it. So hopefully Rob's nerves hold, because if he goes charging in, it definitely favors the Hawks in that case.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, we got our first engagement about 10 minutes after I said we're not going to engage for 10 minutes. So good for me. I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one.
There you go.
Dropping another ion bomb, probably to keep Kylo from engaging too hard here. Blue coming in hard. Definitely wants to get some revenge either on green or yellow. Is a very good spot for blue, depending on what green does here. Taking a lock. I think he's anticipating that green's going to try to disengage.
Well, it's that, or he's going to use Freelance Slicer.
Oh, that as well, yes.
Yeah, don't forget about that.
Keep forgetting about that.
No, it's like I said, it's not very common, so it's easy to forget that exists.
Yep. Right. Yellow turning in as well. Putting that fuse token back. And he's going to focus rotate his turret. Makes sense. Yeah, I'd keep it to the side here. I really don't see much reason to keep it forward. I can't imagine green is going to be moving to the left. Yep. Decided he's going to keep it facing the port side. And red still trying to play catch up. Now, red does have engine upgrade. I'd imagine he put it in there because he's probably going to have to use it more often to get back with the group since red deployed with the Boba Fett crew.
Speaking of which, it looks like he's thinking about using it right now.
Yep. I want to blame it on all.
There
Yep. Getting him in with the pack is definitely the safe move here.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm very curious to see what Rob has done here because I think there are two very distinct things he could have done. Oh. I think that may have been the wrong one.
He chose violence. Definitely going to be getting some shots in here now. I do want to bring up real quick before we move on too far is the placement of that ion bomb was actually really, really good. That prevents Kylo from wanting to take that outside flank in the next turn, forces him to come in, or either fully disengage where he's going to be out of the fight for a good 2 turns, or it forces Kylo to engage with the entire group of the Hawks all at the same time. I think that's a very, very good move.
There's one thing Spike's been showing us with this list so far. It's how to really do some crowd control with your enemy here and how to keep them from getting in different lanes.
Yep.
Ooh, I like that move there, that barrel roll.
Yep.
Just get right up close and personal with blue.
A Kingdom for Predator or Crack Shot or anything really with Bullseye.
The bummer here is you're likely going to see that jam probably happen.
Oh,
so
yeah.
No optic.
Absolutely.
Well, I will say Spike does get to shoot first, so it's possible that he uses it for defense.
Yep.
And that lock may get used for offense with a range 1 shot. That
we will see what happens.
It doesn't seem like the worst thing if you can get some good damage in.
Options. Gives him options, which are always good.
Absolutely. Yep.
Now the question is, what is Kylo doing? Kylo's doing Kylo's peeling out. He can't come in. Well, no, he can come in, but the next turn he has to really book it out of there unless he wants to get stunned. Something I would like to point out here, just a funny little thing as they finish their positioning. I had mentioned, or Spike had mentioned earlier that he had some pre-match anxiety, and I said, "Don't worry, there will only be about 11 people watching, and we have exactly 11 viewers."
If we get 12, one of you has to leave.
Yeah, yep, that's the rule.
It's the rule. Them's the rules. Sorry, kid. I don't make him. I just follow him.
Kylo
All
getting
right.
that engagement in. He's going to take the range 3 shot at green.
Going for the unobstructed makes sense.
Yep. 2 hits. That's pretty solid.
Kylo wishes he had advanced optics right now.
Yeah, he does. I'm surprised that he put that on the SJE instead of Kylo.
I think the SJE makes sense because you're less willing to use it for or you don't have to worry about using it for defense if you're an I1.
Yeah.
Because you've likely already used it or you still have it. As opposed to Kylo, it's maybe you use it on offense at I5, and then you take a bunch of shots and you're like, oh gosh, I should have had that.
Spike spends his focus, take no damage. Yeah, I think using his focuses defensively is a really, really good idea for Spike, since he's only going to have 3 different shots coming in any turn. He can really afford to mitigate the damage and stretch out the game as long as possible. Now that's that's the joke roll when you have advanced optics.
I mean, it's average. It's an average roll.
It is an average roll, but it feels bad.
I think that's why I don't love advanced optics on 3 red die ships. Because that happens and you're like, well, I didn't need that.
We got 2 natural evades on green. Again, no damage.
Alright, now it's time for Spike to do some damage. Let's see if we can hurt that I1.
Now see that average roll on the first order test pilot will really come into play once the FOD-up loses its shields, because it'll have fanaticism come into effect, and that would have actually been 3 hits in that case.
Fanatical with advanced optics is great.
Yep.
Without advanced optics, it is a bummer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we got range 3 from what is that? Orange? Which one is that?
Orange, brown, whatever you want to call it. That's not a whole lot.
One eyeball.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine we're going to be seeing much damage come out of Spike here. Rolling 2 reds against 4 greens is 4 to 5 greens. That's a sad time.
The big play here is going to be that blue onto the I1. That's the big one.
Okay, so we got 2 hits from yellow into yellow.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
And he takes 1.
I mean, honestly, if you're Rob right now and you lose shields on him, you don't feel bad. It looks like Duck has disconnected.
I did? That's not good. Can you still hear me in Discord?
Oh, I can hear you.
Okay. Give me a moment and I will see if I could reconnect.
I will try to narrate what's going on while we wait for Duck to reconnect.
This has now become a radio podcast.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to our podcast. No one else has taken damage yet. We have not shot with blue. We're shooting with green. Green's going to go into yellow, the one that has already been hit. Green rolls a focus blank and feels sad.
What was the password again?
CLM.
I was about to say, I have a good guess.
Uppercase CLM.
Okay, I got.
Duck is back.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, chat. Okay, gotta catch up the timer.
Well, the good news is you have not seen the. You get to see the money shot here. So we have the range 1 shot.
I'm trained in it. Like it.
Range 1, blue onto the SJE. Do you spend that lock? He's thinking about it. It's definitely a hard decision to make here. Yeah, you really want to use Freelance Slicer, but you also want to use it offensively. I think you just use it defensively here. He's electing not to. Yeah, Rob knows that jam's coming, so he's going to use that defensively, that focus defensively. Seems good.
Okay, so did I miss any damage while I was out?
No damage.
Doesn't look like it. Okay.
Yep, no damage. Just the only shot was blue onto the SJE, which was no damage. The SJE used the focus to mitigate damage.
Okay.
And 3 hits coming in to poor Spyke, and he's going to take all 3.
Yep. That is half on blue.
Yep. Now the question is, do we see a proton bomb coming out?
Yep. And blue actually has only 1 hull left, so really close to being destroyed.
I wouldn't be surprised to see that proton come out here. See him drop one and basically say, "Hey, SJE, if you're going to stay in the fight, you're taking a hit." But I mean, with all these ships having shields, it's not the worst thing in the world.
No. Unfortunately, Kylo is in kind of a bad spot here. He's likely going to be taking an ion next turn unless he just absolutely peels out. He could do a 3. Well, no, because he'd still be stressed.
I was thinking if he does it too hard into the fray, and
barrel rolls
does
and
a
boosts.
barrel roll boost, yeah, he can get out of it. But he's
That's
using
true.
both. I mean,
both actions. Yeah, he in that case he would be using both actions to keep himself in the firing arc of all 4 of these hawks. I don't know if that's the right move. Might be better for Kylo just to peel out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a tough call. But even if Kylo peels out, I think you're happy with Spyke if you're Spyke, because that means you're one fewer shots coming in this turn.
Yep.
Especially on the 4th shot, which is the scary one.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to be. And you definitely don't want to be anywhere near the back of these hawks with all the bombs that they're capable of dropping.
Well, we are beyond halfway through this game yet, and the only score we have so far is half points on a hawk.
Yep. Not going to be a high-scoring game if it keeps up at this rate.
No, both players playing very cagey.
Yeah. However, now that they've gotten stuck in, I would imagine we're going to be seeing a lot more engagement here. Can't imagine. Sorry.
Absolutely, this is definitely going to be where we get that engagement lasting for a while.
Yep, I don't think Spyke is his list is built around disengaging. Once the fight starts, he wants to stay in it, and I think that's why he takes so long to get it started. Because it'll also force the aces to get really, really aggressive at the end if they want to keep their lead.
Yeah, 100%. Let me ask you this, Justin. What is your move if you're the SJE right
now? Well, unfortunately, he gave the first move over to Spyke. Well, not unfortunately, but there are definitely advantages and disadvantages to that. I don't know what the move is with the SJE. Honestly, I think the best move might just be a 2 forward and hope that he doesn't bump. But
yeah.
I don't see any other really good moves for him. There's too many options for him to just get blocked. Really, really hard to make any real good call there. There's no way that he can get out either. So I think the best move is to just do a 2 forward, where his opponent is likely not going to be going straight through, just because he's going to have to turn up, otherwise risking going off the board. Plus, you also have the knowledge that Spike's not going to want to bomb his entire list. So even though he's dropping a bomb now, he's going to put a fuse on it. Doesn't want to risk, killing himself with a single bomb. So you're safe from the ordnance absolutely. If you go forward. I think 2 forward is definitely what I'd be doing with the SJE here, and just praying that that the rest of the Hawks don't aim specifically for him.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be interesting here to see what happens with the the Hawks and the SJEs.
Mhm.
I'm
Uh-huh.
yeah, yellow. I also don't know about because yellow is in a weird position where it kind of has to do a one hard into the fray, or else it's getting IN'd as well.
Yeah.
So I think again, in terms of like just lane control right now and blocking lanes off, Spyke is doing a fantastic job right now.
I think
Yeah.
Fleet's not a fighter charge.
Yeah,
So-
another really nice thing about Spike delaying the fight so long and just laying down all those bombs to delay the engagement is with how cheap his stuff is. It's very, very difficult for Rob to get those points for the victory. He's in the lead now, but he takes 2 more hits on that first order test pilot. And he's down by 10 points already.
Yeah,
So it can change hands in Spike's favor very, very fast, and there's just so many bodies on the floor or in the game right now, and they're all so cheap. It's very hard for Rob to hold a lead if he takes damage.
yeah, absolutely. You see that focus rotate there on blue, really, really going for assuming that Spike's gonna do, or Rob's gonna do like a 2 forward and try to escape with the SJE, but he's got a double modded shot coming in. Not basically, it is one.
Yeah, I still think the
But-
2 forward is the best call, because even if he bumped here, he won't be taking a shot from orange. He won't be taking a shot from green. Yellow, he might be out of yellow's arc.
Depends. Yellow can still rotate.
He could. I don't know if he will. I think he wants to keep the focus fire on the SJ, or excuse me, on the first order test pilot.
I think you're right. It's already got 1 shield down. I think you kind of push you get 2 more hits and you've got half, and you've got a pretty decent score right now.
Now green will be taking 3 dice, double modded, but he's still rolling 3 greens. There's a big possibility he just shakes it off, and he's not going to have a lot of fire coming into him afterwards. So I really still think that 2 forward was the best move. However, I do expect red here to actually turn his turret forward, because he's not gonna. I would be surprised if Kylo just eats the ion bomb.
I don't think there's any chance that Kylo eats the ion bomb here.
Yep.
I think this is a 2 hard and then a barrel roll boost and get out of the ion range.
Spyke just using those bombs for area control, not actually going for the damage. So
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Yep.
I really think that's. Like I said, I think he's doing very well with that right now.
It's an interesting list. I'm still interested to see how it. He did a 2 bank actually. But that I think that actually brought him out of yellow's arc. So I think he's only taken it from blue.
Yeah, he's taking a double modded shot, but I mean, this could hurt.
Yep.
Yellow's turning in though.
Yep. Yellow's going to
probably
be.
gonna do a boost here.
Yep. That'll at least get him out of
one
green.
more.
Then he'll only be taking 3 shots instead of 4. Yep. Focus boost. That's the call. On the upside, he doesn't have any bullseye abilities to worry about, so that frees him up
That's
a little
true.
bit in these decisions.
The only bad thing about that boost is it kind of limits your options for next turn to avoid that proton bomb.
Yep.
But that just comes down to again. That comes down to Spike doing a
Barrel roll
fantastic job.
instead. No, that actually is the better move.
Yeah.
He's still out of Green's arc, and he puts distance for the other ones, and it puts him in a better position to get away from that bomb next turn. Now Kylo is coming in. Kylo will have to boost if he doesn't want ion.
Too.
Yeah.
I imagine he's not going to take the ion just because you don't want that ion, but
Yep.
if he boosts, he's getting close to yellow and red.
Yep.
And green for that matter. So I mean, there's a possibility those 3 just turn and shoot on you. And,
Well, I almost feel like a barrel roll into a boost might be the best decision with Kylo, because that gives him some space from the bombs from the opponents, but still gives him a shot.
Yeah. I mean, you're losing shots, but you're not getting shot at. It seems to be probably the best call here.
Taking a focus.
Rob's going to do a focus, and he's going to do a barrel roll.
Going
trying to stay away
defensive
from
with
that bomb.
Kylo. Yep.
Makes sense.
Okay, ion bomb goes off.
No one.
Nobody again.
And no shots.
Kylo has no shots.
This is the big shot here. If the SJE can take off, or not the SJE, I'm sorry, if the first order test pilot.
Yep, take blue off.
Yeah, if he can take blue off before blue gets a shot, it'll be big, but we'll see.
Yep, no doubt shoot blue.
Yep.
Range 2. 3. 3 into 2.
Yeah, you just don't want to see one eyeball, one blank, one hit again.
Yeah.
I mean, so can Targo's...
That's a pretty solid shot. Does he spend the focus, though?
Kill confirm? Yeah, kill confirm.
Yeah. Okay. Confirmed kill, blue will die. Oh. Well, at least he spent. That was a good spend of the focus, but it feels bad when you roll natties and die anyway.
Yes, it does.
Did save green from taking a shot. Now he does have DMS.
Oh, but Deadman switch, yeah.
Which will also affect brown, it looks like. Or orange.
Yeah. Forgot about DMS. Not bad.
A lot of people do.
At least he gets one damage in.
Yeah, if anyone that knows Spyke, he has a very deep love affair with DMS. I can't imagine ever seeing him run a list that does not include it.
It's not a bad upgrade.
No. And he just likes blowing stuff up.
Yeah.
This is a very Spyke list. Lots of bombs, lots of explosions. He's a happy boy.
I'm definitely a fan of it. Yeah, hit crit under the photop.
Yep. Solid shot. And he evades out of it. 2 evades. One hit. Against 4 greens again.
Yeah, this is it can hit. He's got no mods, so
I will attempt to aid.
It does.
Hit. And well, good news for Rob is now Fanatical is active.
Yep, Fanatical is active. That actually makes the yellow a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, yellow's a lot scarier now.
Yep.
Fanatical and the advanced optics, you're basically guaranteeing 3.
2 hits into Kylo, range 3. It's 4 dice again, but he has plenty of mods. And he made it.
He doesn't need any of them.
The anemia sets in.
Yeah. And we're going to go probably back into... oh, maybe he does.
Red into yellow again.
SJE. Do you shoot the SJE?
No. Shoot yellow. Get the half points.
Nope,
he is shooting the SJE.
I mean, no bonus dice.
One, yep. Spend that focus.
He doesn't have one.
Oh, you're right. He took the focus. Oh, it feels bad.
Yeah, take the lock. And maybe that's another reason to shoot the yellow because he got the lock. But
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 2 reds versus 4 greens. No matter how many mods you have, that just feels bad.
I feel like I have to note here that orange is carrying. Which one is that? Orange is 4. Orange is carrying protons. Yeah, orange is carrying protons. Yellow has ions, still has one ion remaining. No, yellow's used both ions, rather, excuse me. Number 3, green has ions remaining. So it'll be interesting to see what bombs, if any, come out this round.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if what Spike does here. His options are limited with yellow, unfortunately. I don't know what yellow does here. I guess a 3 forward into a bank and hope that fits. But I think that still might be in range one of that proton bomb. Green and orange brown, whatever color that is, can get out, no problem. But red can most likely get out as well. But yellow, I think, is gonna eat that bomb. I don't think there's a way out.
I mean, everyone has shields still, so
Yep.
you can just kind of call it. All right, take a shield, whatever. If I hit him, if you get a crit through onto yellow, especially, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, getting that half point on yellow and handing him a crit at the same time, that would be really, really solid for Spike. Not to mention the DMS will definitely spook him off that yellow will not want to be taking any more range 1 shots anymore after that. Who would you say at this point has the upper hand, do you think, though?
I think it's still Rob. I think just in terms of shots.
Yeah,
you get damage in so much easier.
I'm gonna agree as well. I think it's definitely gone to Rob's favor at this point. Having lost a ship with Spike and still having no points on the board, it's tough. He can obviously get it back, no problem. He only needs one more hit into first order test pilot to get a shot back in there. He's got DMS, he's got bombs. He can get the guaranteed damage in. But the problem with that is Rob's gotta fall into it. There's not a whole lot that he can do to force him into it. And then the 2 red dice that Spike ship are throwing most of the time, they have a really, really hard time getting through 3 greens. All right, green coming in. Clears the stress. Does he not? Not too familiar with the it does clear the stress. Okay, but he's gonna rotate, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think that might be true. Or he may have just left the stress there by accident.
I'm not too familiar with the Hawk style, so it's hard for me to tell what stresses and what de-stresses.
One banks and the 1, 2, and 3 forward.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like he is rotating. He's gonna rotate to the rear. I think that's good.
That's not too bad of a suite of blues for the Hawk, actually. That's quite a few selections, and then being able to just slow roll forward is pretty solid.
I really like the Hawk with 9 nub on in the Rebel Hawk. Just making those banks even better.
Yeah.
It's a really solid combo.
L3 works really, really solidly in a Hawk as well. One of my locals, he likes running Palob with a Hawk and then L3, and it is one of the most infuriating things to try and kill. Because he takes your focus, and then and so you have to roll naturally well, and then if you do roll naturally well, then he L3s it, and then he improves his dial. So it can be a little annoying, especially
Spike electing to not actually rotate here, instead just clear the stress.
Yeah. Move in yellow. He does have 2 proton bombs on the field. Probably going for that bump on green.
Trying to get 2 on green. Yep.
If green gets that bump, green's going to be sad. He's going to be eating 2 proton bombs, and then if yellow ends up dying for whatever reason, which he's not because he has 2 shields, that would be another hit.
Yellow and green are going to have guns on him. Yep. Depending on where he's at. So, and possibly orange or red rather.
I foresee this SJE being very sad at the end of this turn.
Yeah, and before the 1 hard.
Yeah, 1 hard to the left, and then barrel roll boost out. That actually might have been the move.
I'm saying 1 hard right here is going to be a real sad time.
Yeah, 1 hard right is going to be sad, but if you 1 hard left, I think he can actually just get out of all of it.
Yeah. Rob's going to spin that turret on red to the middle, making a nice kill box there. For anyone
And
that dares go in.
Yep, we will see where he goes. And he did a 3, and
tank.
that's going to bump. Oh, that's a sad green.
Ooh, that's not great.
That's 2 damage he's taken.
It's 2
crits. He
Yeah.
does have a shield, so that'll negate one of them, but he will be taking a normal crit.
It's an F in the chat for that one.
Yeah. So that is a sad green. Very, very nice killbot set up by Spyke there.
Yeah, he did very well with that one.
Yep, and another bump there. Yellow won't have any actions or shots this turn, but he can take 2, actually. Yellow and red can both hit yellow.
Yeah.
That's a very, very solid turn for Spyke here.
Yeah, Spyke here. Yeah, Spyke is. Again, he's outlasting his opponent. I mean, he's going very slow, but he's creating some nice kill boxes.
I almost feel like the blue as the bait was still the idea. Getting that kill
so,
in and making Rob overconfident. I mean, even with our own commentary, we were starting to say, "Oh yeah, Rob has the upper hand." But I mean, you can see Spyke definitely knows what he's doing with this list in this turn right here.
Yeah,
and I can definitely bring it back because he's going to be getting half on green, very possibly getting half on yellow. With Kylo the only one not being able to get touched.
Looks like Kylo's going to be going after red. I guess that makes sense. He has the most points into red, so.
Yep. Only 1 point difference to the other ones, though.
Oh, yeah, I guess Boba's only 1 more point than the...
freelance slicer.
And seismics are a little bit cheaper, which gives you the engine upgrade.
So yellow will be losing a shield from the bomb. Green will be losing a shield from the bomb.
Does red lose a shield from the bomb?
I think so. I think red's in range 1.
So, I mean, you're trading 2 shields for a shield and a crit onto the SJE.
I think that's worth it.
Not bad. Yeah, it's not bad.
Red losing green taking a crit. Half on green.
Be a dead green, yeah. Put Spyke on the board. Not getting tabled today. Damaged engine.
Oh no.
The only thing worse he could have gotten right here was structural damage.
Yeah, oof. Damaged engine is awful on a silencer or any kind of interceptor, but especially a silencer.
The good news is you can do that too hard and get actions, which is likely what we're gonna see.
Okay, Kylo's shooting first, likely going into red, I would imagine, because it's 4 reds into 2 greens. I disconnected. Again.
I did as well. It may be a big Steam disconnect.
Having a lot of connections issues in this.
Yep, it crashed. As you can see, global chat is going crazy. I guess you can't see it. I can see it.
Password was CJT, you said?
CLM, actually.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Is it?
Absolutely. You can check the record. Well, don't check the recording, but trust me.
Don't check the record.
That's our second drop this game. That's kind of annoying.
Well, technically, it's your second drop this game.
Well, whatever. I don't know why my internet decided to die.
Yeah. Yeah, the first one I think was just this one was the dreaded TTS has crashed. The TTS servers have gone kaput.
Bombs are still there, so we still got to change over all of our all the shields.
Yep, and he's got to pull a new damage card, right?
Yep. Well, it should be the same damage card because the order of the deck hasn't changed. Apologize to chat for that happening again. Spyke is searching for, there is his damaged engine. Getting everything all caught up again.
Here's a weird question for you, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
If you were Rob and Spike said you can pick a new damage card, do you take one?
If I was Spyke, I wouldn't let him take a new one.
That's very fair.
I don't think that you could have gotten in Spike's perspective. I don't think you could have gotten a better crit on a silencer than a
I think
damaged engine.
damage is the big one right here.
I actually think that damaged engine is worse.
I mean, with 3 shots coming in, it could kill him. Yeah. Kylo spends a lock and only gets 2. Wow.
That feels bad.
Kylo's feeling bummed.
And one more into red.
Yeah, shields down.
Red shields are down. And I missed the timer start. Shame on me.
That's right. You were a little ahead anyways. Go ahead and sync it back up.
Yep. Working on.
Yeah. So we're going to go into Kylo range 2. Range 2 to Kylo. Very close.
Hit crit. That's solid.
Yeah, that's not bad. I'll take that.
We'll need to spend a force.
Yeah, going to go range 3 into the SJE.
Yep.
Well, a focus for 1.
Yep, this is definitely the downside of Spike's list. His normal shots are just poor. Yeah. 1 evade, that no damage. Yellow going to be taking a shot at yellow. If he gets 1 hit in, that'll actually put Spike in the lead. It's 2 hits. That could do it.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's going into the photon.
No damage.
Oh, you got to do the range 2 into the. Well, I guess one hit on the photop.
I'd shoot photop here. Plus, I think he has the lock on it. Yep, that is his lock. Yeah, shoot photop. Absolutely.
Yeah, double mod into photop. Yeah, you're
double mod to get half. You're not going to get that kill. Even if you got both hits through, you're not going to get the kill on green. And photop is the good choice here.
Both of his there's still 1 proton bomb remaining and 1 ion bomb remaining, so we might see those.
Yeah, spend that focus for 2.
Yep. Yeah, unless he rerolls for a crit, but
yeah, no, you don't need to go crit fishing. You just want one more hit. That'll do it.
Half points.
And that puts Spike in the lead.
I think the big thing on Rob's mind though right now is, am I taking an ion or proton next turn?
Or both.
Yeah. I think it's highly possible you take both if you're Kylo.
Yep.
I don't know if Kylo can escape it.
Kylo's in a very sad spot now. Actually, I think... Is Kylo stressed? He should be stressed.
He should be stressed.
I don't see a stress token.
Let me double check.
Because he did focus into a barrel roll, did he not?
Yeah, I believe that's correct. I think it was a target lock barrel roll.
Okay. Oh, yes, and he spent the target lock, so he should be stressed.
Yeah, they're getting a stress on him.
Yep, okay.
Yep, that was one of those we double checking that one.
Yeah. Well, it's incredibly vital in this turn. I actually think Kylo will be fine. Kylo needs to take a Kylo is going to be forced to disengage here unless he just wants to eat a bomb, but he can do a 2 hard to the right and boost out of there.
Yeah.
But that's just when Spike wants. I mean, Spike's leading. There's only 8 minutes left in the game. Forcing Kylo to disengage is a huge bonus to Spike.
That it is. Huh. This is curious.
Yeah, so green has an ion. Brown has a single proton. I almost want to say it might be worth doing a 4K with Kylo. Eat the bomb, because you still need 2 hits to get the half, but that re-engages you, gets you behind the Hawks. Though they do have turrets, they're going to be out of bombs.
Yeah.
And you can keep it or stay in range 1. Don't have to disengage, can still get shots in, gives them plenty of options next turn. I think 4K is the right move, even if that bomb gets dropped. Just accept the 1 damage and. Oh wait, no, I apologize. It's not the right move because he's stressed. I forgot about the stress. That was my apology. See, we even called him out for not putting the stress there, and then after they put the stress there, I forgot.
Yeah.
This is how 2 forwards happen. This is how you get warning cards from DU. So yeah, back to my original call. I think that the Kylo here should be doing a 2 hard to the right, boost out of there. If Kylo's willing to eat a bomb, Kylo actually has lots of options. You could do a.
I don't know if that he's not willing right now.
Almost say maybe Kylo should just do a 2 bank to the left.
I mean, it's unlikely you're going to be halved on Kylo.
Yeah, do a 2 bank with the left with Kylo, and then you can boost your barrel roller both to get back into the fight and get another shot in this turn.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to get shots in at this point. You're behind. I don't know if he knows he's behind, but you haven't. It's a very close game. You need basically 1 damage on the red to get back in the lead.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, here comes the ion bombs and the proton bombs.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. This is. I will say. And for anyone watching this later and watching this now, as someone, like I said, I didn't understand or really agree with the decisions that Spyke were making, but I think I kind of get what he was doing now, and I fully rescind my statements. He has put on a very good show for us.
Yep. Hindsight is always 20/20.
That it is. Spyke is really showing us how to control the lanes and control the zones here.
Yep. Now with only 4.5 minutes left in the match, I actually think this will be last turn.
I think so too. With the rate these players have been playing and how many decisions they've been having to make, I think this is.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe too much to say they're going to go for another one.
Yep. I think that Spike's going to win. Actually, or not Spike. Excuse me. I think Rob's actually going to take it. He's got.
I don't know.
He's got to do 3 damage to Kylo to kill, or to get half on him. He's got to do 3 damage to either of the other 2 to kill them. For any more points, he has to do 3 damage to 1 ship to get any more points on the board. And Rob only needs 1 damage in Spice Runner to take the win. I think that, or 1 damage into Red rather. They're all Spice Runner. He only needs that to take the win. But I don't even know if he'll be able to get that shot. Red's in such a strange spot for him. Oh, gemmed Kylo.
Huh. Interesting.
Preventing any double mods.
Yeah, likely. I guess that's not bad. I don't know if he really needs it, though.
Yeah, if Kylo did a hard 2 blue, he's going to get lots of shots on brown.
Yeah, he get those double reposition. Oh. Oh, that's a bummer.
Yep.
Maybe you just focus and shoot?
Yeah, I do think green still has him in arc. So I do think they'll still shoot at each other.
Yeah, for sure. Question is, huh. Yeah, just focus and shoot, I guess.
Yep.
I mean, you've got more greens. So you've got that going for you.
A lot of tokens on the board. Like, look at yellow right now. Look at how many locks are on him. Oh, no. Sad yellow. I don't... If yellow does a boost to the right and then barrel rolls to the left, I think he might just get out of the... Oh, no, he's doing it straight. I don't think that was the best move. But yellow should be stressed here, because he took a focus and boosted.
Oh man, is yellow taking another proton?
Yep.
Yeah, that's...
He could direct hit him, but that won't kill him. He still need one more hit. He's going to go in hard for yellow, try to get the kill on yellow.
Yeah, he's got 2 shots on him. Oh, he's ionized.
Yep.
So if there's another turn, he will be ionized.
Yeah, there's only a minute and a half left.
Yeah, too bad ions don't do... The ion bombs don't do damage, though.
Yep. Okay, that will be a crit on yellow.
It's a direct.
It is a direct.
Oof, that could be a big direct right there.
Yep, and brown, orange, whatever, and green both have shots on yellow. But they are only rolling 2 dice, likely on... I almost want to say he's at range 3. I think he's at range 3, both of them. Range 1 of Kylo into yellow. He really needs to kill yellow here. That could do it. Spend a force. 3 hits and a crit. And he's dead.
Wow, yeah.
Killed
him. Yeah, it's not bad.
The shade.
That will give Rob the win. I don't think Spyke can get it. If he kills yellow, he will take back the win. Oh, DMS. But unfortunately, both of those hits won't amount to any point.
No, unfortunately not. I'm super late here.
There's timer.
Oh, no worries, comrade. Go. We're gonna upload this to YouTube later on, so you're welcome to watch it.
Yep, and see the end.
If you miss anything.
Yep, Spyke does have a shot. It's definitely one of those. It comes down to how the dice go. If they go in Spike's favor, Spyke will win.
In range 3.
But it is still 2 reds versus 4 greens. That's pretty tough to get through.
Yeah, it's not impossible though. He only needs 1.
I would say that he should have shot with orange first, though, since orange only has 1 mod.
Yeah, he only needs 1 hit.
And he blocks both. Orange has got to get through.
Yeah, here goes.
2 more versus 4 green. This is the roll that determines the win. That's a hit. I'm gonna spend that lock.
Yeah.
Reroll the. He needs another hit. He really needs another hit, and he got a crit.
That's a hit.
So now he needs 3 blanks.
Blanks.
That's not it.
Does Red have a chance? I don't think so.
I don't think Red has a shot.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, that'll be GG. Good game.
That is game. Yep. Very good game. Spyke did have a shot, but unfortunately, he did two reds versus 4 greens. That is so improbable to get anything through, and that's what really kills this Hawk list. Spyke did a great job in controlling areas. Very good job at that. Got a lot of good bomb hits. Did a lot of damage to those silencers. But sadly, his dice, they just two reds versus anything else. That's tough. For 4 greens, 3 or 4 greens, both of those are very difficult. So his final score is 78 Rob to Spyke 57. Rob will move on to the 2-0 bracket, and Spike will still have a shot at cut, being 1-1. So we will see more games from him in the future. I'm hoping he does make cut, just because 5 Hawks is such a silly list. I really hope that does well.
I hope so too. It's very it is a very silly list.
But anyway, that is the game. Would you have anything else to say before we close out, Andrew?
No. Well, actually, the one thing I will say is keep following the channel if you're interested. We're gonna keep streaming some games from this tournament, and I'm sure we're gonna do the next. We're gonna stream some games from the next tournament as well. But we may be back tomorrow with Justin's game. I don't know yet. We're planning on it, but we just got to make sure we know how to set up everything, get it going. But it'll be a fun time. So, and also go check us out on YouTube. I think we're still X-Wing Coast to Coast on YouTube.
Yep, I have the link down below. If you scroll down just underneath the stream, you'll see a link to it.
Awesome, fantastic. In that case, we will upload it to YouTube, and you can always watch this later. And then again, just good game both players. It was very tough. I can't imagine being Rob there and trying to figure out where are these bombs coming from.
Hope you all have a good rest of your evening. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah, absolutely. See you later.